August the 2nd, 2020. Guys, an update on Tropical Storm ISAIAS. Very strange things happened last night, and I've been watching these hurricanes since 64, 65. And, of course, we got better technology, but it hasn't changed that much in the last few years. But you're looking at one of the last frames as it was getting from yesterday as the sun was going down. We're switching into infrared here. And the storm had come over the large Bahama Island here, moved into open waters, and it sped back up temporarily. Then it started mingling with the upper islands in the Bahama chain here. And this is the one that got devastated a couple of years ago when this 180-mile-per-hour hurricane set there for about 2 days. That was a very strange occurrence also. I don't know what's going on in this area. But I don't know if it's a magnetic anomaly or what is going on or some type of manipulation. But this is the size of the storm. Now, it was smaller than this a few frames back. I've gone back as far as the radar will let me go in this sequence. But if you look at the video yesterday, we saw the storm come off the Grand Bahama, or the large island here, and skirt out from under the top of the clouds. Remember, the wind shear was pushing it up to the top right of this image, but you could very, very clearly see the circulation at the lower level in the white layer. Well, I noticed this last night, that the area was starting to expand, but I want to play this through for you. Now, look at the size of it last night. We're going to go through the night as we play this. Going into full nighttime infrared imaging. Tries to make a break for the land right there. Look at that on the outside, and then it's pushed back. Gets up to the top islands, and it starts to explode. Watch. Going into the day. Look at that. And the center has bounced offshore. Very strange indeed. Usually these things are well defined one way or the other by the time they get in. I know it's warmer waters right here because of the Gulf of Mexico, but it's either there's something different going on. I know we're in grand solar minimum. I was calling this way before anyone on the weather was. I don't even know if they still even talk about it as far as the effect on weather. I really don't think they do. But look at that. Such a rapid explosion is what I'm talking about. And you can see where it's at. It's off the coast now, Florida. Almost a very well-defined eye in this particular image. And going into last night, the sun's going to rise. And right as it gets into the same area, that huge storm stopped 2 years ago. Never came into Florida. It sat there and just almost destroyed that island. Remember the flooding up to the second floors of the homes and just total devastation of that island? Same area as it's getting there, right about here. Coming into this morning. Now, it's not predicted to become a hurricane again, but that's some very strong and powerful explosions as far as size. I've never seen this happen before, guys. If you can remember something happening this quick, this close to shore, remind me, and I'd like to go back and try to find the radar of it. Let's look at some of the modeling. Now, this was updated at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Storm's located right here. And it actually looks like it's a little further offshore than that, according to where the eye is. But then by 8 p.m. tonight, here, moving slow again, 8 miles an hour now. Monday, 65. Monday morning, 65. And then Monday at 8 p.m. right here, coming into the South Carolina coastline. Right about there, and that would be in the morning at 8 p.m. So today and tonight will be the time that Florida is affected the most. Now, as it's getting further, the models are technically being forced to come together, and that's what's happening. We're seeing the Canadian model and the Navy model run just along the shore, come very close here, and pull up, and then come into South Carolina, come up through the D.C. area, New York, and pull back out. Now, it's interesting with the weather here today. There's going to be a splashdown from the space station over here, guys, around the Pensacola area. Right in here this afternoon. You know, they went from splash downs to space shuttle, and then now back down to a space. I think it's 3 men in here coming down. Been up about 60 days, so this is going to be interesting. I guess that area is good because you've got the Pensacola Naval Air Station very close, the Coast Guard, you know, and that's where the Blue Angels are at, guys, there at NAS. So that's going to be interesting to watch. You're not getting a lot of wind, but there is a breeze coming across the Gulf from this storm. But it's been planned out a while, and that I think it's going to be broadcast live. If I can find that, I'll put a link under this video. Now, this is the Lauderdale by the Sea Beach Camp from Earth Camp, and what's happening, the ocean is very smooth because the storm is moving north, and it's getting into that reverse rotation. In other words, the wind's coming off the coastline instead of the ocean, and you can tell by the trees here, too. And that is the storm that we're watching expand very rapidly, moving up the coast for you guys that are getting on up closer to Central Florida. We'll look at one of the webcams in that area. And if you move there, God. Now, these are amazing images coming up to Cocoa Beach, guys. You're looking at the exact opposite. First of all, you got some crazy windsurfers up there. Check this out. But you've got the area of the side of Florida there taking the incoming wind from the ocean to the shore. So we're in opposite ends of the storm. Check this out. You know those guys are getting plenty of breeze. And you've got to be careful not to get pulled ashore into some trees. Check that out. But it's a totally different edge of the storm, and that's what we're going to be dealing with as it moves up the coast of Florida today. You guys be careful out there and watch those rip currents. It will be something to observe as if you can see how strong the storm is, how fast it's expanding, and how well you could see that rotation if it gets back up to hurricane strength, because now it is offshore enough to where the land is not affecting it like some of the models were showing, keeping it down to 65 miles an hour as it goes all the way up the East Coast. As we go into the heat of the day, that will be, again, something to keep your eyes on. Going over to the website, Tina has put the article we were talking about, the astronauts coming back in on the SpaceX flight and going to land in Pensacola. It's the top article right there. See that? So you can go there and check out the information. I think there's a live link to watch it. So check that out, guys. And don't forget to check out our line of solar generators. This thing you can charge up via your wall outlet. Now, if your power goes out, with most generators, you got to have fuel. This one, you just hook a solar panel right there, 100-watt panel for about $100, and it will charge this thing back up in a few hours. But there's a much larger equipment there, enough for a small cabin, large home, your RVs, with information on how to set that up. And if you got any specific questions about it, put them in the comments, and I'll try to put a video together outlining what you need. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe. It's a heads up, guys. Be safe.